Greetings, I am Merlin, and welcome to an overview of the first quest of Merlin's Code, a man's timeline. Do you have the feeling that something is holding you back from everything that you actually want in life? Are you feeling unhappy, confused, discontent, or disconnected? Perhaps you're suffering with low self-esteem or self-worth, or debilitating thoughts of not being good enough. Are you having a quarter-life, mid-life, or senior life crisis, fueled by regrets from your past, or simply can't let go of the past and feel stuck? And no, it's not your job, your relationship, financial situation, family, or anything external to yourself. The problem is you. Young boys dressed up in men's clothing are often confused by the messages of their childhood. This course will help you come to realize that it may have a lot to do with the memories you took on as a young boy. So welcome to Quest 1 of Merlin's Code, a man's timeline. This is the first of 5 online courses which comprise the Merlin's Code program, or the first module of the full 5-week group learning course, which includes a total of 22 hours of Zoom meetings facilitated by one of our certified mentors. A man's timeline will take you on a journey that will help you to discover things out yourself that happened in your formative years that affect you to this very day. It will help you to get really clear about the work you need to do in order to become a man who is freed from the burdens of your traumatized past and no longer show up as a little boy in men's clothes. A man who no longer allows dysfunctional and self-limiting beliefs to unconsciously define who you are. And a man who can face your journey ahead as a confident and sovereign mature masculine. As you step through your timeline, you will be guided to contemplate what happened to you in the early stages of your life that caused you to form your beliefs relating to a range of things, such as women, families, finances, and many more. Whether it's things that your parents did or didn't do, which created what is known as a father wound or mother wound, or whether it's other traumatic experiences where you were verbally or physically abused, bullied, abandoned, or excluded. Our experiences in our formative years between birth and 21 years old cause us to develop a shadow self, an unconscious aspect of our personality. A shadow is an emotional blind spot which functions independently of our conscious awareness. Shadows exert an unconscious control over our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, which can account for the self-destructive behaviors so many men struggle with throughout their life. This quest guides you to re-look at the outcomes of these experiences differently and allows you to make conscious decisions about your future based on a mature male perspective, as opposed to decisions made for, or perhaps by, the little boy that still lives within your unconscious self. You will learn that while you cannot change what happened in your life, you can change your emotional reaction to what happened. A man's timeline covers the significant stages of a man's life, where there are 9 changes or switches between each stage or age bracket. They are called switches because history shows us that the journey for a man through his life will pass through common stages of personal growth and maturation. In keeping with the medieval theme of Merlin's Code, the switches are named after the various titles used in those ancient times. The course guides you through an examination of your timeline, starting with birth to 16 years old, up to the first major step towards the mature male at Switch 4 Warrior, between 28 and 32 years old, where the man switch helps men realize that life is about taking responsibility. It is also about realizing that your biological age and your emotional age aren't always the same. In fact, in most cases, there is always a huge gap. We've all seen the 50-year-old man who still behaves like a 28 to 32-year-old, who remains stuck at an emotional age which does not serve him, his partner, or his family well. As a man approaches 40 years of age, he often hears himself asking, "What the hell is this life all about?" A sense of doubt, burden, overwhelm, and loneliness become another reality. There is usually a sense of entrapment, and while he continues to do what is expected of him, he develops a wanting that often goes unanswered. This wanting causes a re-evaluation of his life as he knows it, which is commonly known as a midlife crisis. The second major step of the mature male happens at switch 6 at 40 plus years old, known as the Knight's Code. Within this age bracket usually comes great upheaval, not just for the man struggling with his identity, but at the same time, there is often an even greater effect on his partner, children, and family in general. And men at this age usually start to realize that they need to make some hard decisions about their future. The course then continues to explore the other switch zones in a man's life, right through to legacy and generativity from 70 years old and beyond. For younger men, this knowledge is particularly powerful in helping to understand where his father, grandfather, and other older men in his life are at on their timeline and the influences, decisions, and perhaps even struggles they face on their journey through their life. It is important to note that a man's timeline is a fundamentally important and foundational part of the Merlin's Code program, and we strongly recommend completing this course before moving on to any of the other 4 courses in the program. I look forward to guiding you through this important quest of self-discovery and learning. So, let's begin.